Hello, welcome to another session of Learn with Veer Sagar. Last session we talked about how do we look at layers of management, analyze what layers are required, what layers are surplus, what levels of management are required, what kind of jobs are required, and what kind of jobs are needed or not needed. Having got that, we then realize that in our organization we have made, let's say, X number of jobs surplus. Now, if I make X surplus of job surplus, that means those people whose jobs are surplus need to go. This what is the easiest way is then to say, look, I'm sorry, we love you, you're a very great asset, but unfortunately, times have changed and the job you're doing is no longer required and hence you have to go. Easy. But I don't think it's a very good way of doing it because some of those guys would be maybe in the wrong job but very good guys. Similarly, some jobs which are required, the guy manning that job may not be a good guy, maybe an efficient guy, may not be wanted, but he will stay on because his job is staying on. So you're not clearing the efficiency bit of the company. So thing to do now is to totally cut off the job from the people. I say analyze each person, evaluate each person and say, is he or she good? And for that, there are various methods. The one I used was to look at the last 3 years appraisal. The reason I looked for last 3 years appraisal was to take off, A, because only last 3 years appraisals were reliable, right? And I was not sure of the appraisals before that. And B, to take off any bias. If the immediate boss last year was not a good boss, then he may give you a bad rating. Or if the guy was very good, right, and he's gone, then he may have given you a very good rating which you don't deserve. So whatever it was to then make sure that the bias is removed. So we take 3 years. Look at the rating of the last 3 years and then see, okay, which of these, and create them into baskets. Give them points. Guy who's got A plus, which is the highest rating, gets, let's say, 5 points. Guy who's got next gets 4, and so on and so forth. Now you add up the numbers and you decide, okay, anybody who's got A's all the 3 years, we will not let go. Irrespective of whether his job is required or not, he or she is a good person, we're going to keep them. So we say, okay, anybody with 12 and above will not be asked to go. You are here. You will not get any part of any scheme. Similarly, anybody who's got D, right, in the last 3 years or whatever number, and there's 1. So you say anybody with 6 and below will have to go. And anybody between 6 and 12 have an option. Now, these numbers are not sacred. I'm just giving you an example. You can create your own bandwidth. You can say, okay, this band stays, this band is optional, this band has to go. Then you create a voluntary separation scheme which says those that are going, how much they will get for going. Remember here, a lot of people are going, may not necessarily be their fault. If a guy has not performed for 3 years, or a person has not performed 3 years, it does not necessarily mean that performance is no good. It is also a reflection on the boss. It's also a reflection on the job. So you can't penalize that person overall. Therefore, you make a very liberal scheme of handshake. Make the handshake as golden as you can get. Put this up on the notice board. This is the rating. This is how you calculate your rating. This is how you calculate your amount that you will get. So the person knows that he or she has to go and this is what they will get. One who's very good, if you say, okay, you can also go, then the good guys might leave. They say, look, I'm getting money here, right? Let me take this and go and I'll get another job. And I'm getting another job. Maybe I'll get the same payment, maybe I'll get more, but I'm getting here a lump sum, thank you, money. So they can't go. If they go, then they go on their own. They will not get any compensation. The middle level is the tough one. The middle level is where you give them the option that Would you like to go? Fine, you take. If you don't like to go, fine, we'll keep you. And in this level, it depends on the management who feels this guy, although he's getting good, or this girl is getting good appraisals or bad appraisals, needs to be kept. I want to keep that person. Then you talk that person into not going or into going. So that is your thing comes in. So with this method, you now have identified the performers, the non-performers, and the in-betweens. And you ask the non-performers to go, give a very good handshake. Believe me, it's a very traumatic thing for a person to be asked to go. It's traumatic for both the manager. Like when I did this, I had sleepless nights. I had very uncomfortable. It's traumatic for me, and it's equally traumatic, if not more, for the person being asked to go. And you have to do it face to face. I do not believe in the American system of pink slip, or you come next morning and you find that you can't enter the building because your ID card has been made inactive, or your password has been, you can't enter the computer system because your password has been made invalid. And why? Then you ask the HR and say, oh, you're no more with us from today. So talk to them. Because, and I tell you the advantage of this, even today, people who have been asked to go in this scheme in my company are still friends with me. They are in touch with me. They ask for my help. I ask for their help. And we are still very good friends. There's no bitterness. No this thinking, okay, this guy asked me to go. He's a villain. Because it was to be done openly and fairly. People must know it's nothing to do with me personally. This is the life. And this is why I'm going. And anybody who is in this scheme goes. Senior, junior, known to the boss likes him, makes no difference. He or she has to go. Once you have done that, now you've got a situation, you've got jobs with people already filled in. Then you've got people with no jobs, and you've got jobs with no people. Then you make a match. And then see how many of them you can make by suitable retraining. And your aim should be to match the people with the jobs rather than look for fresh. And then when you reach an end where you're short of people, then you see, okay, now I need to get more people, I'll go for the market and get. Or if I have more people than the jobs, then how do I retrain and use them in the future? But each of these is a method by which you increase the efficiency. The aim of the whole exercise should be to increase the efficiency. The efficiency increases if the level of decision making comes down, if the level of management comes down, and people are more people are empowered and they take quick decisions. The quicker the decisions you take, the better they are. So have people with empowerment, give them authority, and make them do. This is what will optimize your cost. Not saying, let's reduce 20% of the management of the employees, and how do we do it? Those in that corner go. Those first 20 in the list will go, or whatever or method you use. So, in short, to have an efficient organization, you get the job level in line with what you want to achieve, and then you look for good people. People who are good, you retain them. People who are not so good, you ask them to go. And then where there's a job without a person, try and retrain a good person, who is a person without a job, retrain that person to this job so that at the end of the day, you get a good match. So till we meet again next time, it's Veer Sagar saying thank you very much and goodbye.